Alright, so we are talking about determinants. This is like a super big thing that is going to be involved in all sorts of different things that we do. So it is a special number, so it's just a number, it's a scalar that can be calculated from a square matrix. So it has to be same rows and same columns. We will only do 2x2s and 3x3s with no calculator. We probably won't even bother doing anything with a calculator. We'll just do 2x2s and 3x3s. So the notation for this is a lot like absolute value. It's those straight vertical lines. So it might be if the matrix was named A, they could ask you the determinant of A. They might use the abbreviation DET for determinant of A, or they might give you the whole matrix with the numbers in it, just like you see down here with those lines. So it's not like a normal matrix where they give you like the hard brackets. Okay, it's those vertical lines. That's the key there. Okay, so let's figure out how to do this, shall we? So all you're going to do is, it's a little bit cross multiply-ish, where you take these two numbers here, so the 3 and the 4, and we're going to multiply them together, and then we're going to subtract the product of these two, and order does matter here. 2, okay, so 3 times 4 would give me 12, minus -1 times 2 is -2, minus a negative turns into plus a positive, so the determinant here is 14. Okay? That's it. That's all you're doing. The determinant for this guy is the number 14. Okay? So if we were to look at the next one, we would do 5 times 1, and then we would subtract 3 times -4. So 5 times 1 just gives me 5, minus 3 times -4 is a -12. In this case, again, we end up with minus a negative, so it turns into plus positive, and the determinant here is 17. So I want you to pause this video and try these next 4, and then unpause it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm just going to put the answers there, okay? So pause it. Alright, so hopefully for this third one you got -2. For this guy you got -9, 0, and -1. If not, confer with the people around you and figure out if it was just a negative positive thing that happened. Okay, and this is absolutely no calculator. You should be able to pick up by that by now, even though I know I already said it up here, but I'm going to repeat it to you over and over again. Okay, so if you got that part down, if you would like to pause here and you want to try 1 through 6 on page 2, you absolutely can, and then move on to learning the 3x3s. That would be my suggestion, but it is 100% up to you. Okay, looking at 3x3s, we're going to do a really similar thing, but we have to mess with it a little bit. So this, we're going to go down this side here, but we want to be able to do that for all the columns. So I don't have enough values. I'm going to add in some values over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first column and I'm going to rewrite it here, and this second column and rewrite it next to it. So what it's going to end up looking like, we've got 5, 2, and -3. We've got 2, -1, and 3. And that way we can go down these diagonals and multiply. So 5 times -1 times 4, which gives me -20. Then we're going to do 2 times 4 times -3, which gives me, I'm going to add all these together, -24. And then I'm going to do 6 times 2 times 3, which is going to give me 36. Okay, and we're going to add all those guys up, which is going to give me a -8. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go in this direction. So -3 times 1 times 6 gives me 18. 3 times 4 times 5 gives me 60, and 4 times 2 times 2 gives me 16. If I add all those guys up, I'm going to get 94. And just like the 2 by 2s, we're going to subtract the diagonals. We're going to put the diagonals that go from top to bottom, left to right first. And we're going to subtract this one from it. So we're going to do negative 8 minus the 94 to get our beautiful answer of negative 102. And I know these numbers don't seem like much to you right now, but they're going to apply to other things we're doing. Okay, so it's just getting this pattern down. Really take advantage of this opportunity to like work on the no calculator multiplication and addition. I think it's a really big deal. I've said it over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to walk through one more of these so that you can see it, and I will try and show like all of my work, and then I will pause it and put the other 2 answers up. So I'm actually going to skip down to the one below this, just purely out of like having space to write, so I will actually like show you all the work on this guy. Okay, I did not mean for that to sound like a song. All right, so we've got 3, negative 3, and 1, 5, negative 7, and 2. So we've got to bring those guys over. And then we're going to go down the diagonal. So I'm going to do 3 times negative 7 times 5. I'm going to add that to these ones, 5 times negative 2 times 1. And then I'm going to add it to 1 times negative 3 times 2. That's going to be my first row. This guy turns into negative 105. This guy turns into negative 10. And this guy turns into negative 6, which gives me negative 121. And then I'm going to go in the other directions. I'm going to do 1 times negative 7 times 1 plus, I think highlighters are really helpful for this, by the way, 2 times negative 2 times 3, because that way you can see through it, and circling them I think gets a little confuzzling, times negative 3 times 5. Be really careful with negatives here. Negatives will throw everything off. So when I multiply these guys, it's just negative 7. These guys, it's negative 12. And these guys, it's negative 75. And which will equal negative 94. And then we're going to do the same thing where we take our negative 121 from here and we subtract it from our negative 94. That turns into a plus sign, and we get negative 27. So negative 27 is the determinant of this matrix. Okay, so same deal. I want you to pause it, and I want you to try the 2 on the side, and then I'm going to pop up the numbers, the answers, and with a little bit of work, just so you can see what the other numbers should be to see if you did goof up, where you goofed up. All right, so pause the video. So for this guy, when you multiplied going down, you got negative 16, 4, and negative 45, which gave you negative 25. And for this guy going up, 80, negative 6, and 6, which is 80, subtracted them to get 105. I'm going to pause again and pop up the answer to the next one. All right, for this last one, I'm just going to give you the numbers because I want you to be able to figure out where your errors were. Okay, that's very big, right? On a test and quiz, you've got to be able to figure out where your arrows are. So 38 came from going down the diagonals. 47 came from going up the diagonals. They were both positive, and I subtracted them to get a negative 9. So now try numbers 7 through 12 on page 2.